Hi Flosstube, I'm Annie and I am the Proper Stitcher, and welcome to episode 102. If this is your first time joining me, this is a channel where I like to talk about cross stitch, sometimes quilting, and hopefully give you inspiration to fully finish your projects. And if you're returning, thank you so much for your continued support, all of your wonderful comments and messages you send my way. I appreciate each and every one of you. So I want to start today's episode off with thanking all of you who watched my video last week, who sent me amazing comments and just so many wonderful words of encouragement and excitement. I launched a cross stitch design business and I made the announcement last week. If you missed that video, it is Flosstube 101, and I could not have been more pleased or overwhelmed with all of the wonderful comments that came my way. Thank you all so much for sharing the excitement with me. I just could not wait to share it with you. I felt like I was keeping this big secret from all of you, and I'm so glad that it is now out in the open and we can talk about it. And thank you all so much who have already purchased a pattern from me, multiple patterns, or downloaded patterns from me. I appreciate you all supporting me. My goal is to have these patterns in your local needle workshops. So I have started the announcement to the local needle workshops as well. So thank you so much. I am just, I really am at a loss for words. I am so just appreciative for all of you who continue to support me as a floss tuber and as a cross stitcher and now as a designer. Thank you so much. But please know that more will be coming and I have other comments about that throughout the video, but I just wanted to share that with you all up front to just make sure you all know how much I appreciate you. I have the best viewers and subscribers and supporters out there, and I am just so thankful for you all. So let's start with some life updates. I wanted to go over a little bit. I know we all laughed about my shaving cream story last week. Gray was really embarrassed that I shared that story, but it is life. It's just what happens. Things like this happen to me sometimes, but I appreciate you all just laughing along with me at that one. But Tristan did make it home last week. He got back from Colorado. He got back late Thursday night. There were some really bad storms in the southeast, so his flights kept getting delayed, but he finally made it home about 1 in the morning. But we were so excited to see him and hear all about his work out at the Young Life Camp. He was assigned to outdoor crew, which meant that he worked outdoors. He did the landscaping and all of the jobs that go along with that. So he had the best time, and I'm still hearing stories here and there about his time out there, and he can't wait to do that again next year. Gray's last day of work is today. She's really excited to have some time off before she goes back to school, and we're looking forward to sharing that time with her. But she's also sad because she loves her job and she loves working with the kids. So it's bittersweet. So today is her last day. And then Bella, bless her little heart, my dog Bella, we had to take her to the vet this week. She had an ear infection. She also suffers from allergies. So many of you hear her snoring in my videos, and part of the snoring is from her allergies. So had to take her to the vet, which was not always, it's not fun to do that. And then my sister-in-law came for a visit this week, which all the dogs enjoy that because she brings her 3 dogs. So we had a house full of puppies this week. So she left yesterday, and it's always fun to see Jennifer when she comes to visit us. So grab a pen and paper and grab your favorite beverage and your cross stitching, and let's jump into today's episode. I have an update about my trip to Cross Stitch and Crafts. We celebrated their 25th birthday last Saturday. I have some haul. I have my whips that I brought back out that I wanted to share with you. I wanted to share the stitch along that I am co-hosting with Crazy Band Stitch Lady and with Creative Country Girl. I wanted to bring that back out and share that to you. And then we have some giveaways. So grab your pen and paper, grab your cross stitch, and let's get started. So last Saturday, I went to Johnson City, across to the shop there, which is my local needlework store. Local is a loose term because it's an hour and a half away from me. But I went there last Saturday. It was Sandra and Fred's 25th birthday bash of being in business as a local needlework store in Johnson City, Tennessee. And so they had a big birthday celebration. And so it was a wonderful day in her shop. I had my table with all of my patterns and my, I took my samplers with me and the original antiques with me so people could see those. And it was a lot of fun. Pete's Bee Skeps was there. I got to meet Kathy and Peter, and Betty Woomer with the Neeby Needle. We all had tables set up. It was so much fun. And I'm going to go ahead and insert some photos here for you all to take a look, and then we'll talk a little bit more about those when we get back. So as you can see, a lot of people showed up to support Sandra and Fred's 25 years in business. I did not get as many photos as I had hoped because it was a really busy day. Just so much fun meeting new people, seeing a lot of people, and I got to meet people that I have been friends with online for several years, but have never met them in person. And so I'll show you some of the gifts that came with that. But it was a lot of fun to see all the wonderful wooden pieces that Pete's Bee Skeps makes. I have one of those to share with you too. It was just a lot of fun. So let's look at some of these things. So Pete's Bee Skeps had a shop, their table set up. And what Peter does is he makes amazing wooden products for your all of your cross stitch things. He has these beautiful little bee skeps. He has them in all different sizes. I waited till the end of the day before I made my selection. He has them for Christmas. He has them for year round. He has green ones. He has some shaped like snowmen. So cute. But what these are is these are beautiful wooden bee skeps. And he has a hole in the top, and the bigger ones have multiple holes. But what the holes are for, they're for your scissors. So you put your embroidery scissor on top of your bee skep, and it holds your scissors next to you on your table next to your stitching chair. Beautifully crafted, handmade, beautiful wood, various color stains, but he also has, they make wooden spools, and the spools have holes at the top of them too. And several cross stitch designers have created a pattern to go around the spool, so you can decorate the spool as well. But I just loved meeting them. Kathy is just a beautiful cross stitcher. She was so much fun to sit and talk to. Pete pulled out his guitar and played guitar for a little while, but at the bottom of all of his wooden pieces, he has his logo at the bottom. And it was just a joy seeing them and finally meeting them. I've watched them on Flosstube, I've followed them on Instagram, and I've heard people talk about all their wooden products, but it was so beautiful to see them in person and you just want to touch everything. It just wanted to touch it and hold it. And he even sells big bags of wooden shavings for stuffing your pin cushions and pin keeps. Just so talented. But how sweet is this? And what a great gift for your cross-stitching friends. So I'm going to link their Etsy shop below, their Flosstube below, and Carolina Stitcher is her Instagram. And here's their business card. Look how creative the business card is. So cute. Absolutely amazing. So go and check out their shop. They had so many wonderful things. But it was wonderful meeting them. Bonnie with the Neeby Needle, she did give us some patterns for a future giveaway, but I'll go ahead and show those. She shared my Quaker box top year. That's one of her patterns that she shared with us. This is I Must Have Flowers. It says, more than anything, I must have flowers, always, always. And that is a Monet quote. Claude Monet, who was an Impressionist artist. Fun fact about me, I don't know if y'all know this, but I was an art history major in college. And during my time as an art history major, I also worked at an art gallery in town called Bennett. And that is where I get my framing done. At the time, I was an intern in the gallery, so I helped with exhibits or art shows and did art event planning. And Ramona, who does my framing, worked there at that time. So this was a long time ago. This was probably over 25 years ago. And so Ramona has been a framer at Bennett for 30 years, and she is also a cross-stitcher. So I trust her with my framing items. And so I just wanted to throw that in there. When I mentioned Monet, I was like, oh, I don't know if I've ever shared that with y'all, but I love that pattern by Bonnie. Let me show it to you again. The Neeby Needle. And that is such a wonderful quote. Monet had beautiful gardens. So the Neeby Needle also gave us Farm Life Sampler. And then this one is called Mustard Seeds. And it says, if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, nothing shall be impossible unto you. And that's Matthew 17:20. And that's beautiful. I love that yellow. So Bonnie has beautiful patterns. Thank you for sharing those with us, Bonnie. And those will be used as future giveaways. So, and then one of my friends, that her name is Darby Logan. And I met Darby online on a Facebook group about 8 years ago. And we have been, oh, one more from Bonnie, sorry. Spring Sampler. That's another one that she shared with us. But I met Darby on a Facebook group called Prim Stitcher Society. And this is a private Facebook group you can join. You just have to go and join the group, and there are certain criteria for joining. One of them is the only thing that can be posted is from a list of approved designers, and they're all prim in nature. So go and check out that Facebook group if you want some inspiration for prim stitching. But Darby, I met her through that Facebook group, and we've always just chatted online. We have a lot in common. She lives in North Carolina, but we've never met in person. And so she's going to the retreat this September, the Samplers Remembered retreat that I'm co-hosting with Stitch Etc. And the guest designer is Little Robin Designs. But Darby, I'm excited. I was excited about being able to meet her in September. Well, Darby surprised me on Saturday by coming to Cross Stitch and Crafts. So you saw a photo of her, the two of us together, and it was just one of those things that just, when you talk to somebody for so long, but you've never really met them in person, and then to be surprised by, I knew who she was the second she walked in the door. It was like I've known her my whole life, and we had just talked last week in person. It was just so wonderful to meet her in person. But she brought to me a couple of little goodies. And one of them is the Tilda Fat Quarter bundles, and then these two silks. And she said that she could just see me finishing something with these little Fat Quarter bundles. She also brought some fabric. She said she cannot stitch on this linen anymore. This is 38 count legacy linen Himalayan fog. And it is this beautiful, it's hard to see the color, but it is this beautiful shade of gray. Just a really soft gray. And I love legacy linen, but this is perfect for some projects I'm going to maybe plan in the future. And then she made me a little basket. I don't know what this is called. She told me, but I forgot. But it's very stiff, and it's how you make the rope, and then you stitch the rope together. But isn't this just the most delicate and dainty little bowl you've ever bowl basket you've ever seen, and the little knot handle. So I'm keeping this on the table by my chair so I can use it to collect orts or have my pins in there. But it is just absolutely gorgeous. And it has just a little hint of blue in it. Darby is so talented. She's a beautiful artist, seamstress. She does so many wonderful and incredible things. And I was so thrilled to meet her, but I love this. So thank you so much, Darby. And then my friend, Nita. Nita has always, she lives up in that area, and she's always at Cross Stitch and Crafts when I go to visit. And so I just love sitting and hanging out with Nita. Well, Nita gave me this little salt dish that I shared with y'all a couple of months ago. And she messaged me before Saturday and said, hey, can you bring this back with you? I want to redo it. So she was not happy with the way the glue settled inside the salt dish. So this is just an old lead crystal, lead glass salt dish. And she makes these little felt balls, and she put it inside the salt dish, and I think she glues it. And then she put these beautiful pins in there and this adorable little charm. It's like a little tortoise shell pumpkin charm. I love it. Anyway, it usually stays on my shelf. So I took it to her to redo. And when she did that this time, she added a little bit more color felt to it. Thank you, Nita. I always love spending time with you. She also gave me this beautiful cross-stitched little round disc. And it's this beautiful and little flower motif. And I believe that red is Buckeye Scarlet. She knows that's one of my favorite reds. And then on the back, stitched over one, it says a token of love, 1803. And then she finished it into this round shape ornament. And it's beautiful. And it is beautifully done. Look at how she did this. JBW Designs, Judy Whitman, she always talks about her round finishing, and it's finished a lot like that in one of, like Judy does her round ornaments. And she did this beautiful cording to go around it. Nita's so talented, and I just love this so much. But this is an example of when I'm showing you all samplers and I'm discussing how you can pull a motif out and make something small. That's what she did here. Just pull a small motif out and you can make a beautiful little gift for someone. So special. Thank you so much, Nita. And then several people came with little gifts. Someone came with a bag full of patterns for us to use as giveaways. And this is a piece of linen that she had in there, and I wanted to share it with you because it's so unique. This is, and she said she couldn't stitch on it. So this is 40 count, she ordered the wrong fabric. This is a 40 count ancient Newcastle linen fabric. The color is called ancient, and it's Newcastle linen. But look at this fabric. It is beautiful with the blues and the yellow modeling. I think she got this at 123 Stitch, and I'll show you the little card or the SKU. It's 40 count Newcastle ancient. This blue is so pretty in there. That'll be fun for like a Halloween stitch. And then I added to my stash, Amy was kind enough, I got some floss while I was there. I'm not gonna worry with you all with that, but they just got in a order of needle bling fabric. And this is at Cross Stitch and Crafts in Johnson City. I'll list the shop below. They have all of my patterns too, if they can kit it up for you. But they just got in some needle bling design fabric, lots of other fabric. They always have a really good stash of fabric. But I got Shrekie's Tan, and I got, she had an odd quirky piece, so I just had her cut it off and serge it for me. But I got just a good fat quarter of Shrekie's tan, and this is beautiful fabric, and this is 36 count. So pretty. Just a good neutral with a little bit of modeling to it. So Shrekie's tan, she had some other colors, just great selection. And that's all my haul from this week, and my gifts and my giveaways. I did get some replenishment of shipping equipment, or shipping supplies. That's not too exciting to share. And I got some floss in the mail. I forgot to mention that I got to meet Kimberly Young with Sassy Jack's Stitchery, which is a shop that is opening up outside of Asheville, North Carolina. It's in, I believe, the Waynesville area. I will link it below, but she is currently an online store. She has been renovating a home and turning it into her retail space. Many of you know her. She does a lot of cross-stitch retreats and cross-stitch classes and seminars. You can also hear her on Fiber Talk podcast, which Kimberly is a wealth of knowledge in the antique sampler world. It was so much fun to meet her in person and to get to talk to her about some resources that could be helpful and useful for me. So I appreciate her time that she took to talk to me, but also to come up to the store and to celebrate Sandra and Fred's big birthday celebration. It was just so much fun. So let's go into my whips. Before I do that, let me start off. Yes, let's just do my whips. So I have not had as much time to stitch lately. I shared that with you all last week because of getting things ready to, all of my patterns printed and ready to ship. And this week, since I made the announcement last week, it's been really busy in a very good way. So I've been getting orders out. I've been reprinting and trying to keep up with my shipping supplies. So ordering more shipping supplies. I had these really pretty blue bubble shipping envelopes. I ran out of those, so some people didn't get those, but just trying to keep an eye on those types of things. So because of just getting things started and not knowing what to expect, I did not get to stitch as much as I had wanted to, but I wanted to bring my whips out to share with you what I have in my rotation and getting back on track with my stitching. So these are in no particular order, but these are some that you haven't seen in a while. So here we go. This is my anniversary start. This is Blackbird Designs, My Heart Can Rest. And I started this on April 21st. We had a, well, what did we have? We had a contest, or I asked you all to vote. We had a vote on which pattern would be my birthday start, my anniversary start, and my birthday start. And then I ended up making the runners up, my anniversary start. So My Heart Can Rest by Blackbird Designs became my anniversary start. So here is my progress on that. And I did not get a chance to iron these. I usually iron them before I share them with you, but I can't even get to my iron right now. That's in my sewing room. So this is My Heart Can Rest, and I absolutely love these colors. I am stitching this on 36 count American Chestnut, and I'm using all of the called for floss, and I'm using 1 strand of floss over 2. But look at the detail in this basket. I just really like that color. That is Fool's Gold, and Fool's Gold is a classic Colorworks color. I'm using all the called for floss. So it's a blend of Weeks, Dye Works, and Classic Colorworks. And I'm using 1 strand of floss over 2. So here are all the colors. And I love this green, this balsam fir. So pretty. But what I like about this piece is it is very dainty, very beautiful. The colors, the way they all come together, the mauves and the greens and the yellows, very pretty. So this is where I am currently stitching, is this what's inside the basket, which are the roses and this whole area. This is a very relaxing stitch. I really do enjoy this a lot. So this is my Heart Can Rest by Blackbird Designs. And here's the back of the chart. So pretty, so pretty. So I hope to get more of this done. I would love to have this done before our next anniversary. Wouldn't that be nice to have you start one on your anniversary? The idea is to have it done so you can start another one on your next anniversary. So that is one of my current whips. Another one that I really was excited to share with y'all today, because this has been a limited edition exclusive pattern that was no longer available, but it is now available again. So contact your needle workshop. This is Coming to America by Brenda Gervais, the Women of the Mayflower. So this was released as a exclusive kit several years ago, and I believe in 2020. It was in 2020. And then she, Brenda Gervais, it was retired, but she recently announced that she is reprinting these and you can order them. So call your local needle workshop. So here is my progress, which is not very far. I am up here at the top, and I am stitching this on 36 count Vintage Country Mocha. So I don't know if you can see it, but I've stitched the sail and the birds inside the sail. So this, and I love this border. I love the braid of this border. Very pretty. I'm using all the called for floss. I'm using 1 strand of floss over 2, and it's going to be a nice size. So here it is on 36 count. And here's all the colors. This is a combination of DMC and Gentle Arts and Weeks, but mostly DMC colors. And here they all are. A lot of you have asked why just 1 strand of floss on certain linen counts. And here's how some people do it. Again, this is cross stitch. There are no rules. Do what you want, do what makes you happy. But usually when it's a 32 or bigger count, so 32, 28, 22, 18, 14, so on, you use 2 strands of floss. And that's just for the coverage, because the holes are bigger, they're further apart. So if you use just 1 strand of floss, it could not have, the coverage is going to be a little bit more bare, but that's personal preference. I like it with 2 strands of floss to have a fuller coverage. On 32 count, you can use 1 strand of floss. It's just not gonna have as much coverage, and it's gonna maybe give it a little bit more of a prim look, which may be good. Some designs on 32 count, you may want to have more of a primitive look to it. But just know that 2 strands of floss will give you more coverage, and you can always test it out in the upper corner, 1 or 2 strands of floss, and see what you prefer. The higher counts, so the 36, the 40s, and so on, you really don't have enough room within those holes to have 2 strands of floss. 36, you might be able to, but it's just gonna be so tight that it's not going to give the same effect as if you use just 1 strand of floss. All of this is personal preference, and it's just up to you, whichever one you prefer. But that's generally how I do it. 1 strand of floss on 36 and higher counts. So, but Coming to America, Women of the Mayflower is back, and you can now stitch it. So call your shops, get it kitted. It is such a beautiful pattern. My next one is one of my favorites I've ever worked on, and I am itching to get back at this. This is the Scarlet House Floral Motif Sampler. And let me find the cover. So here it is. Now this is a great example of like what Nita did with this. You can you can pick one of the little motifs in here and make a little gift like that. So here's my progress on Floral Motif Sampler. I am stitching this on 40 count. Picture This Plus Mallow. Funny enough. Okay, so when I was at Johnson City, they do have a fabric called Mellow, and I'm believe it's Atomic Ranch. I can't remember, but Mellow is the color, very similar to this. So if you're wanting that yellowy mottled fabric, give Amy a call at Cross Stitch and Crafts and she'll get that ready for you. But this is my progress. I did the border a while ago. We were all excited that it met, you know, that it matched up. But here it is. Since we haven't looked at it in a while, I'm going to show you. I'm using all the called for floss on this. It is 1 strand of floss over 2. And I am really enjoying it. I love all of the colors. I love how rich a lot of these colors are. I am currently working over here. So I am right now, right here. I just started this motif there. So that's right here. And look at this little guy right here. So sweet. But this is a wonderful pattern. And like I said, you could get the pattern and not stitch the whole thing. You can even make a little tree of ornaments of these little motifs. Super quick and easy when you chunk it out like that. And here are all the colors of the floss. I have them on a bigger ring, but so many pretty colors. And then I'm trying to keep them all organized. Okay, so my next one is my birthday star. This is Hello from Liz Matthews, Baskets and Butterflies. And this one was my #1 choice because of the color blue. I just love a monochromatic piece, and this one did not disappoint at all. So here is my progress. And I am stitching this on, let's see, no, it's not the called for color, but it is the called for size. This is 36 count Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. And I'm using the called for Gloriana Silks in Northern Lights. And I'm using 1 strand of floss over 2. And I'm pretty close to being done. I just have the flowers inside the basket on this. And this is another one. I just love just having 1 strand of floss. Don't have to think about it. Don't have to switch colors. Just sit down and stitch. And this blue is beautiful. Very pretty. So here we go. And Liz is so talented. She has so many beautiful patterns. She's one of those designers that when she releases something, I'm like, I just know I want all of it. I want one of everything. Okay, my next one is one that I started at the retreat with Stitch, etc. This one is World So Sweet by Sandy Spencer. And this is a PDF download. It can be found on Threadmilk Designs Company's website. I will link it below. And here's my progress. I am stitching this on 40 count Milk and Honey by Fiber on a Whim. And here it is. It's a very small stitch. So it says, thank you for the world so sweet. So pretty. And I'm using all the called for floss, which is a blend of Classic Color Works. And here's 2 that I have off the skein. Don't judge me by my ball of floss. And then all of these colors. So pretty. Greens and grays and reds. Very pretty. This was Sandy's first pattern release, and it is just beautiful. She knocked it out of the park. It's so beautiful. I love that bird. So I will link the website below if you would like to go and check out that download. And then this one I am pulling, I have not worked on it, but I'm pulling it back out for August because of my other bee stitch that I'm working on. This is another Liz Matthews. It is called Be Kind, Be True. And I started this last summer, so hopefully I'll get it finished this summer. but here's my progress. This is a little one. I am stitching this on, let me see if I wrote it down. I know it's 40 count. I'm stitching it on 40 count. I think this is Milk and Honey again by Fiber on a Whim. And this is beautiful. I just love the bee skep in the middle. So pretty. And this is all with DMC floss. So very, very easy to kit up and get started. And I put them in the little floss bags. So those are all of my current whips that I have in my rotation. A lot to keep me busy and happy. So I hope you took good notes on those. So the next one that we have is our stitch along that I wanted to share with you. This is one that I talked about last week, I believe, and the week before. But Zan, who is a floss tuber as well, crazy band stitch lady, and Tammy Blaylock, who is creative country girl, we are going to stitch starting August the 1st, and we are hoping others will join us, but it's Heart and Hand, Birds and the Bees. Heart and Hand, Birds and the Bees. And I have it ready to go. I said I was going to finish filling my order when I was at Cross Stitch and Craft last week, but I forgot to pull my floss because we were so busy. So I'm going to just pull the DMC equivalent to some of the floss that I did not get to purchase because I'm just ready to get this one started. This starts August the 1st. So I am using the called for 32 count vintage country mocha. I had a piece in my stash, and I am going to use 2 strands of floss over 2. And here are the colors that I currently have. I'll have to pull the DMC later, but I have, and it's a blend of Classic Color Works, Weeks Dye Works, and Gentle Arts. But here are the colors that I have in my bag. Just really pretty reds. This is, what red is that? Tennessee Red Clay. Such a pretty color. I just love that color. So hope you will join us. I love Heart and Hand. Celia Turner is just talented, very talented. But here it is. And this is just, it reminds me of the equivalent of The Princess and the Pea, that nursery, or that fairy tale, and the mattresses, and that's what this reminds me of. It's like keep stacking up on the bird skep and then get to the top. But it says, bless the flowers and the weeds, all the birds and the buzzing bees. So cute. And I love this big printout. So we are starting August 1st. If you can join us, the hashtag we are using is hashtag Birds and the Bees SAL. So I'll link it below, or I'll list it below. So if you would like to follow along with us on Instagram, you can, and see the progress. So, and speaking of stitch alongs, I was really touched and really just excited and honored. Melissa Lore, who stitched with Mel, and Alicia, who is the Fanciful Flamingo, they've started a stitch along for my patterns, and you can follow both of them and watch their floss tubes. But they started a stitch along where you can pick any one of my 4 releases and stitch along with them, and it is just so sweet that they did that. So I'm going to list their floss tubes below and their Instagram if you want to go and check that out or join them. It was just such a wonderful gesture, and I was so speechless when they told me they were doing that. It just was so sweet. So many wonderful friends in the floss tubing community. So thank you all who are joining them. Thank you for those of you who are just cheering me along on the sidelines. I really do appreciate all of you. So, okay, so let's go into our giveaways. So let's go over what we had for last week. If you would like to be entered to win a giveaway, all you have to do is be 18 years or older, because I will have to ask for your address if you win. Like my video, subscribe to the channel, and answer the question below. And the question that I ask, answer it below, and list the number that you're interested in entering to win. I ship anywhere that the U.S. Postal Service will ship, and I ship anything and everything that I'm giving away. So here we go. Okay, so last week I asked you all to share with me who encourages you, or what is something that you find that gives you courage and encouragement. And I just really enjoyed reading through all of those comments and hearing all of your inspirational stories. They were just so wonderful. Thank you for sharing those with me. So here we go. So I did offer some of my patterns as a giveaway. So the first 4 are my patterns. This is three for each of these. So 3 of you won. The first one is Caroline Carter. And this can be either a PDF download or a mail you a hard copy. The first one goes to Donna Carman, C-A-R-M-A-N, Karen Jones, and North Louisiana Stitcher. The next one is When Flowers Bloom. The first one goes to Linda Holland. The next one is Nora Verheyen, V-E-R-H-E-Y-E-N, and Alicia Ortwein, O-R-T-W-E-I-N. The next one, number 3, is Zeresh Andrews. This goes to Erica with a K, Dyer, Patricia Rather, R-A-E-T-H-E-R, and Glammy B. And the next one is Clarissa's Garden Sampler. This goes to Lily Lane, Sherry, C-H-E-R-I-E, Maynard, and Wendy Bartlett. So just, if I called your name, email me and let me know if you want a PDF or a paper copy, and I'll be happy to get that to you. Okay, the next one is number 5, is Vicki Kennedy. This is a Country Cottage Needleworks 'Tis the Season, number 5. Number 6 is a Lizzie Kate. This goes to Mamie's Medley. Mamie's Medley. The next one is JBW Designs French Ducks. Rachel Turner. The next one is Stacy Nash Primitives Christmas at Hollyberry Farm. This goes to Jordan, J-O-R-D-Y-N, Kirschbaum, K-I-R-S-C-H-B-A-U-M. The next one is number 9. This is an Antique Reproduction Sampler. This goes to Susan Cumpston, C-U-M-P-S-T-O-N. And number 10 is a Blackbird Designs. This goes to Renea, R-E-N-E-A, Yarolim, Y-A-R-O-L-I-M. So if I called your name, if you won, please email me at theproperstitcher@gmail.com. Tell me what you won and give me your address, and I'll get that out to you as soon as possible. I usually hold items for 2 floss tubes. So if I don't hear from you by the second floss tube, I will then just put it back into the pile for future giveaways. So let's go into this week's giveaways. I will be offering for the first 4 my patterns again. So we will have more opportunities for you guys to win. So let me get those sticky notes on there so I do not forget. So this week's question is, what is your favorite season to stitch? What do you find yourself gravitating towards, or what do you get the most excited to stitch? What season do you like to stitch the most? So for me, I like to stitch everything, of course, but I really like to stitch Christmas pieces. So I get really excited when I get to pull out a Christmas project and work on it. It just makes my heart happy. So that's my favorite. All right, number 1. 3 people will have the opportunity to win PDF or hard copy of Clarissa's Garden Sample. Number 1. Number 2, 3 of you will have the opportunity to win Zeresh Andrews. Number 2, 1789, Zeresh Andrews. Number 3, 3 of you will have the opportunity to win When Flowers Bloom, 1830. And number 4, 3 of you will have the opportunity to win Caroline Carter, 1823. So this is number 4. Okay, and number 5 is from Fat Quarter Shop, Lady Claus cross stitch pattern. This is an It's So Emma. That's number 5. Number 6 is Fall is in the Air. It's also an It's So Emma. Number 7 is Calendar Crates August, which is a Stitching with the Housewives pattern. That's number 7. Number 8 is a Colorado Cross Stitcher Snowman Collection pattern. This is number 8. Number 9 is Blackbird Designs Glad Tidings, number 9. And number 10 is the Needleworker Snowman Collector Series number 1, Cottage Garden. That's number 10. So those are all the giveaways that we have for this week. Thank you all so much for watching and for just being such wonderful, wonderful people. I appreciate you all so much for your continuous support. I really do appreciate you all. So I will see you next Thursday or Friday with a cross stitch update and hopefully have some sneak peeks of some future designs to share with you. So until then, have a great week, be safe, and happy stitching.